And the holiday season often brings families, friends, and neighbors together, but for some people dealing with mental health conditions or grief, it can be painful to enjoy celebrating. Ronnie Parrillo sat down with a doctor from Sweetser for insight on how to handle the holidays when things get difficult.
What is the most common mental health issue that you deal with during the holiday season specifically?
You would say it's depression, but it's often fueled by grief. The holidays is a time when you're sometimes missing a loved one who's no longer with us, or that could be because somebody you care about died, or somebody had a divorce, and all of a sudden some people that you celebrated with are no longer there. Remember something else, that different members of the family grieve differently. So some family members will want to plow on as if the person you lost was never there. And so you got to be sensitive in a way to your own feelings and also the way other family members cope.
So sometimes, like you said, a divorce in the family. How can people deal with that? Because that's kind of a different type of loss.
We know many divorced families that still come together for the children during the holidays, and that's really beautiful. But it's a matter of thinking these things out, because otherwise you may be flooded with emotions, and although those are real and authentic emotions, sometimes, again, you don't want to bring that into the holiday party.
So sometimes these emotions that are associated with grief, they hit, like a truck in the middle of a holiday party. What are some techniques that people could use to kind of mitigate those?
Go easy on the alcohol. Alcohol in a holiday party anyway is very treacherous, and especially when you're emotionally fragile. So it's really good to have a kind of a buddy, somebody that is sensitive to where you're at, and hopefully people do. And sometimes it could be a family member who's grieving in the same way you are.
Let's say that you are a family member or a friend of someone who's dealing with grief. What's your advice to people like that?
We have to not assume anything about how they're feeling and how they want to cope. We can't judge them if they're looking very happy, even though their mother or grandfather is no longer there. We have to understand and be sensitive to where they're at.
What are some harmful behaviors that people might participate in during the holiday season? For example, you think about like isolation.
Yes. Right.
Why is isolation so dangerous?
Isolation at a time when somebody's dealing with grief and loss, again, it could be vulnerable for them to sink deeper into depression. And when you sink deeper into depression, you start to think, I'm the only one going through this, everybody else in the world is having fun, and you're at greater risk of harming yourself. But if you can get out to a community dinner, very often if you call ahead of time, somebody will arrange transportation. That's the best thing you can do.
So if someone's experiencing a mental health crisis at 3 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Day, what can they do for immediate help?
All they have to do is call or text 988. 988 is the national crisis line, which is also regional. So every city has a team. Every town has a team that they can access. Healing and hope doesn't take a holiday. We're there anytime. So we staff crisis programs 24/7, 365 days a week. 988 is what you call.
Thank you so much.